This is the walkthrough for creating an outline. In my very first instructor course, we were trained that creating the outline is the first step to developing training. For the next 13 years, that's exactly how I created training, by creating the outline first. You jump in, you write down everything that you want to train to, and then you make your performance objectives, and then you add content that you want to talk about in the course. However, then I discovered instructional systems design. I learned that I had it all backwards. Now I've decided that it's a lot easier creating outlines because I create all my terminal performance objectives first. Once I know what my terminal and my enabling performance objectives are, that is what my outline is based off of. And since we've already done that with the training design plan, it becomes a very easy process. We've already created the training design plan and we've put everything in the order. We've already created our training design plan. We've already created the scaffold of the order in which we want everything presented. Now all we have to do is determine what is the highest level of header that we want to use in our outline. If you're using the Roman numeral system of outlining, that would be Roman numeral 1, 2, or 3. For us, it's going to be whether it's a lesson or a terminal performance objective. If your course has more than one lesson or module, you're going to use the lesson module column to establish the highest order of your outline. If your course only has one lesson or module, then it's going to be your terminal performance objectives that establish what your highest level order will be. So we have this sample where I have a course that has multiple modules and lessons, and it has terminal performance objectives and enabling performance objectives. It's very simple. All we do is select the highest, the very first one in our order, scroll down to our last one, copy it, go to Microsoft Windows, and then by using Control Command or Control Alt if you're using a PC, and the letter V, which is paste, you're going to get a new window that gives you the option of how you want that formatted text to come in. I always select unformatted text because I want to control how the outline looks. Now I go to the very top of it and I just delete all those extra returns that were added by copying and pasting tables. If you forget to do that, instead you're going to get all the table cells. We don't want the table cells in our Microsoft Word document. The next thing we do is we select everything, and I always use a decimal system. I do not like using Roman numeral style outlines because it's very difficult when you start getting into long programs or long courses directing people to the areas that you want to discuss. It's a lot easier to say 3.2.1 than it is to Roman numeral 3, capital B, lowercase number 1. So I always use the decimal system by clicking on this system, which is the current list or listing library, and I select the indented version of the decimal list. Once I've applied my outline style, I go back to my training design plan, scroll back to the top, and I start selecting my terminal performance objectives. Copy them, go over here, hit return once, and it automatically creates the outline number. But if you hit tab, it gives you the indented next version. Command Control or Control Alt, the letter V, unformatted text, and those two performance objectives come right in the number that I want them to come in with. So we keep doing that as we go down. Now, vicarious liability only has one terminal performance objective, so I hit return, tab, Command Control or Control Alt, unformatted, and identify the responsibilities and impacts, and there it is. However, if we remember, going back to the training design plan, there are 3 enabling performance objectives here as well. I select those, copy, go back, indent, and do my paste again, and now they're there. We're going to show one more, with time management. Create time management policies. There are actually 2 terminal performance objectives. Come here, paste it in, and you'll notice that it created numbers for each of those hardware terms for the cells that were blank in Excel. So I'm going to tab because I have enabling learning objectives there. So I selected enabling learning objectives, copy those, and then paste them. Now, what do you do if you have other information that needs to be in here? Right now I've used my terminal performance objectives and my enabling performance objectives to become outlines. They're the top headers. Well, there are things that you're not going to necessarily be enabling performance objectives. Those are called chunks. So let's say that I identify federal, state, and other policies that may impact breaks. Just hit return, tab over, and we can add chunks we might need to use in order to add content. So we have federal policies, we have state policies, and then we have other policies. And that's all there is to it. That is creating your outline. And that's all you need to do. As you go through your outline and you see more information, for instance, if you use your content outline information column in your training design plan, you might want to add these bits of information to it as well. For instance, for identify classroom behaviors, these are all going to be chunks, and there's going to be a bunch of content to this also. Another thing to consider is that this isn't everything that's going to be in your class. You're also going to have an introduction. You're going to provide an agenda. And you might have housekeeping, where you discuss breaks and how to treat each other. Select it all, apply all, and there you go. So the next walkthrough will be creating content using this outline.